Welcome. If you're from Scotland, Wecklum. Today, it's Monday, so that's an inside joke between me and Scotland, and anyone else, I guess, who's watched the show Still Game. But Wecklum is what we say. It's fun.
Sound like you were hacking up something there.
They misprinted a doormat. So this guy gets a doormat on the cheap, and he holds it up and he reads it, and it says Wecklum. And then throughout the rest of the episode, people are giving him crap about it. Like, he thanks this one lady, and she goes, "Oh, you're Wecklum." And he's like... and that's the first episode of that show, Still Game. Great show. But we're not here to talk about Still Game, unfortunately, for all of my subscribers on It's a Vase Productions. We're here to talk about Marvel and the MCU, because it's MCU Mondays. I'm your host, Chris, founder of It's a Vase. It's a Braze? I don't know. It's something. I founded something. It's a Vase Productions. And I do a bunch of stuff over there, but I'm also very happily a member of the Geek News Now team. I am joined by my co-host, another member of the Geek News Now team, Debbie. Debbie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. It was a beautiful spring day today.
Beautiful day.
Beautiful day.
That's got you in a beautiful mood to talk about some beautiful MCU madness. It's Monday. It's a Monday of madness.
That's the only good thing about Mondays is it's MCU Mondays.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. Well, I mean, also it's my day off. Everybody else goes back to work. I go back on Tuesdays, just at my current job. So I love Mondays, but I understand where you're coming from. I get it.
You feel my pain.
And we got an avocado in the chat. Hey y'all. Hey y'all yourself. I got an avocado. For you. All right. Now, what we're talking about today is some more Doctor Strange 2. We talked about it some last week. We talked about the end of Moon Knight season finale, and we talked about Doctor Strange 2. This time, we're going to talk even more about Doctor Strange 2. We're going to talk about different theories, different things that were rumored that either happened or didn't happen. We're going to talk more. It's had time to settle. So maybe we've, developed our thoughts a little bit more on it. I know I certainly have. We're going to mention the fact that Debbie got an awesome new Deadpool thing in the background. Is that your bed there? So is that the headrest? That's awesome.
He's looking over me at night. He's my guardian.
What a great guardian to have. I just feel safe. With, a good old Deadpool right above me.
Yeah,
there's got to be a clip
wrong.
Hush falls over the crowd as rookie sensation Wade W. Wilson out of Regina, Saskatchewan lines up the shot. His form looks good. Oh, that's why Regina rhymes with fun.
God bless Ryan Reynolds. God bless Deadpool. And I'm interested to see what happens with Deadpool and the future of the MCU. That's something else we're going to be talking about today. The future of the MCU from here, because now we've seen Doctor Strange. What are the implications of that? We're going to be talking about all this stuff. We want to hear your rumors, your thoughts, what you thought going into the movie, what you thought coming out of the movie, what you think now. We want to know. So tell us in the comments, and let's officially get this show going here. I didn't make a new intro.
What a slacker.
It's the same new intro every week. But last week we had a sweet Multiverse of Madness intro, and it had some Deadpool in there, and I was like, I work hard. I'm tired. Why not? Most shows have the same intro every single week. Mine's mixed up every different time. You know what? This is what you get, people. All right? So enjoy. I don't mean to come off as aggressive. I don't know where that came from. Here we go. Let's get the intro going before I say something else.
Theme song guy.
Oh, yeah! We're definitely naming our kid Cher!
Fantastic stuff. A little bit of Deadpool, a little bit of Moon Knight too. That's probably my favorite scene from the entire Moon Knight, is when he does the thing with the sky and then it really starts going fast and you see the phases of the moon play out like a figure eight, which is how it actually plays out if you do a time lapse type thing. And yeah, so that's our intro. Got a little bit of Deadpool in there, a little bit of multiverse fun in that respect, but from what I'm hearing, and Debbie, you can tell me if you're hearing the same things or not, a lot of people, a lot of the disappointment of Multiverse of Madness, if you're disappointed with it, came from like missed expectations, or at least that's what I'm seeing other people are saying. Like, I was expecting more, and so it was a letdown because I was expecting more. Have you heard this? Have you seen it? And also we got Grant. Hey, Grant.
Hi, Grant. And a lot of the threads on Facebook, Twitter, and even TikTok, I've seen a lot of people, they just got their expectations too high with their theories and whatnot. I mean, you know me, I come up with some theories of my own, but, I don't go...
Well, I think we all, myself included, we all theorize stuff, but especially when you get into like the business of it, as we do. I mean, we talk about this every week. We're talking about this stuff. It's part of our show, so we need to know what's happening. We need to know what people are thinking. So we can't even really avoid that type of thing, because there were in those same conversations, there are other people replying, you shouldn't have built up your expectations. You shouldn't have been reading all the rumors and doing all the stuff. And like, that's part of the fun of it, I think, is like coming up with rumors and what you think is going to happen. But then you have to not expect or like rely on it, because I think definitely in this movie, there were very high expectations and a lot of things probably didn't play out as big as people expected, or in the way that people expected.
They had every cameo you could think of thrown in there. I didn't go that wackadoodle, but I mean, Tom Cruise, I don't know. There was just so many.
Well, there was rumors every day, and
cameos.
then we saw some of them be confirmed. Like we saw in the final trailers, we saw Captain Britain, the Shield, Captain Carter. Sorry, not Captain Britain. That's a different character. Captain Carter. So we saw the Shield, so like we knew then that she was going to be there. We had Professor X's head for a while, so we knew that was going to be a thing. And from that type of thing, I think a lot of people thought those were going to be much bigger parts of the movie than they were, or that this was going to introduce the X-Men or the Fantastic Four into the MCU as we know it. And in a way it did. It did. We've seen them in an MCU movie. That couldn't have happened before the merger with Fox. They couldn't have done that. And now they can. So we've seen them for the first time, but it wasn't in our home universe, if you will. 616, as they even identified it, which is a nod to the comics. And but yeah, they identified the universe that Stephen Strange came from, the universe that we're all familiar with, the one where they at Infinity War, Endgame, everything we've seen so far, except maybe some stuff in Loki, everything has happened.
Loki had 616 in it. I
was going to say some of the stuff they were doing there might have been, but even so, that would still probably just be 616, and it's just different timelines and method. So you think about that, is every single different reality has multiple different timelines. So like, oh my gosh. Yeah, just think about Infinity, and then you'll start to get a handle on it. It's rough stuff. So, you're just constantly looking for more things to help explain, like, what's happening. And I think I thought that this movie was going to do a lot more along those lengths. But the only concrete thing it did, it showed us other universes. It showed Professor X and Fantastic Four, so it showed those things in an MCU movie. But as far as like what does that mean in the universe? We still haven't seen 616's Reed Richards at all. Where is he in there? Where is Professor X? Where are the mutants? Those questions have still not been answered. I really thought we were going to get an answer to that type of thing. What did you think? When I saw Professor X, I was like, finally, we're going to figure out how they're going to introduce mutants.
Well, I don't know if I expected a lot of the mutants to show up. I mean, I was happy with just Professor X showing up. I thought that was kind of huge in itself. And Reed Richards, I mean, that was the biggest rumor that in people have fan casted John Krasinski for I don't know how long, so that was cool. And
yeah, that was interesting, and it doesn't tie them into anything because it's another universe. They could recast that character if they want, and they can recast Professor X if they want. This was a place to like introduce them, give them a cameo. Hey, remember they used the classic chair for him.
Yeah, from the '97 comics.
Oh, there was Captain Carter. Yeah. Spoiler, I mean, you should have seen that coming, but yeah, that classic from the comics and from the animated TV series. That's how people were used to seeing him actually before the live action, and then they actually put him in a wheelchair because that was trying to be more grounded. That was the time they were like, let's make superhero movies. We'll make them all more realistic, like as if this could happen in real life. And that was popular for a while, but then special effects got even better, and they were like, all right, we can just do whatever we want now. And so it's like, yeah, let's have Superman punch people through 15 walls. And that's pretty awesome.
Don't you know who I am? I'm the Juggernaut, bitch!
But yeah, a lot of people were expecting to see way more X-Men. I saw different people talking about rumors that there were going to be more characters in this, more Marvel characters than in Endgame.
Okay.
So if you went into the theater expecting that stuff, and even smaller stuff like the tentacle monster at the beginning, everyone was like, oh, that's this, creature from the comics. And then it's like, oh, that was just a monster that Wanda sent. It's dead now. It's nothing. That's nothing. It's why did you care about that? And to bring it back to the Illuminati, it was like, here's the Illuminati. The Illuminati are dead. You know what I mean? It's like, here's the thing that you were expecting, and it's not even there long enough for you to really appreciate it. There were some great Charles Xavier moments, I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
There were times when I was sitting there, and then everybody else is running off to do stuff, to go fight, and he starts talking to Doctor Strange again, and then he's telling him stuff, and Mordo's like, you can't do that, we can't trust him, and Professor X is like, let's find out what kind of person he is, instead of just judging him by what he looks like, or let's say if he's a mutant or not. This is the guy that fights for that type of thing. He's like, let's find out if he's a good guy or not, instead of just judging him because there was a guy in our universe who looked like you that killed everyone, or that would have killed everyone, but he didn't even kill everyone. He killed himself rather than kill everyone. So why do you think that Doctor Strange is so evil? The Illuminati are just a bunch of idiots, okay? It's got to be said. They're like,
they're
we're the
very
smartest
egotistical,
people ever.
arrogant.
And they just, well, Doctor Strange was at one point like their leader, so it's like, the ego. I don't know what a flunge is. Flick my flunge. I don't know what a flunge is, but yeah, we're live.
Plunge.
A lot of rumors that the Illuminati are going to be a big feature in the future MCU. Civil War 2 rumors. Now that would be cool because you could have different Illuminati fighting each other, different universes. I mean, that's the whole Kang thing, is that he conquers universes. So now they've fully introduced the multiverse. But, for everyone that went into this film expecting more, you didn't get actually that much more than the trailers. And then it was like, oh, here's that big reveal you were waiting for. It's like if Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield showed up in Spider-Man No Way Home, and then 10 minutes later they were both dead. I was like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, I think my only disappointment with the Illuminati was that they weren't there. I wish they would have lasted just a little bit longer.
Yeah, they could have done more there. That, I think part of that was, though, A, to show just how strong Wanda actually was, and B, to throw more of those horror elements in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this wasn't, and for this I kind of appreciate it, because instead of like your typical superhero fight, it was more like a murder spree. You know what I mean?
Massacre.
Yeah, like she went in and in creepy ways, and for some of them, like Black Bolt and his whole thing. And
Well, the way she did in Charles, I mean,
was, and yeah.
I mean, her whole face just went. I don't even know what that was, but it didn't look like Wanda.
It's so funny to think about that scene, and then later when she's talking to her kids, and she's like, "I never hurt anyone," and I'm like, "I just watched you murder." Actually, most of this movie, you've been saying, "I'll be polite," and your version of polite is not murdering people. And then you guys like, "All right, fine, I'll get my hands dirty," and it's like, I'll just murder tons of people, including another Wanda, the kids' actual parents. I'd never hurt anyone. I'd kill your mother and steal her place. That doesn't make me evil. And then she's like, I think now that I've said it out loud,
she didn't think it
I
through.
think I might have been being evil. What? Yeah, and so some people were expected to see way more X-Men, but what are you gonna do?
You think the studio would throw us a bone? They can't just dust off one of the famous X-Men. How about that Potts with the giant pigeon wings? What do those do anyway, huh? Carry him 3 feet off the ground to snatch up the nearest muffin crumb? No.
I was hoping to see Quicksilver.
Yeah, no Quicksilver, no boner alert. Debbie, show him your t-shirt. Get your official MCU Mondays boner alert t-shirt. Follow the link in the description. That, of course, is Ralph Boner, who everyone thought, they were introducing the X-Men in WandaVision, and it was just an old boner alert, and not the good kind. Yeah, which led to me creating that. The Ralph Boner situation infuriated me to the point where I started making videos and selling t-shirts to that effect. He's like the mascot of our show. Couldn't have done it without you, you horrible character that needs to be corrected.
Excuse me, I'm Eric Lensher.
Charles Xavier.
Go fuck yourself.
That was even a rumor too that Wolverine was going to show.
And that's what he said. He said, nope, he's going to show up. Here's me making my rumors and he's going to show up in Deadpool 3.
Wait, is that you?
Hey, it's me. Don't scratch. Just cleaning up the timelines.
Look, one day your old pal Wade's gonna ask you to get back in the saddle again. And when he does, say yes.
Those are my two favorite.
Say
Well, I guess
yes.
Deadpool's not technically X-Men, but X-Force. But those are my two favorite characters from that.
Yeah, and I'd love to see him get back in it, if just for Deadpool 3. Because, Deadpool kind of got a late start. Of course, we could go through the whole thing with X-Men Origins Wolverine and how that was a misfire and that version of Deadpool was terrible. But it gave something for Deadpool to make fun of in his own movies that were actually good, which is amazing and hilarious.
The timeline, he cleaned it up.
Oh, did you hear that, Debbie? Geek and I podcast.
Possible.
Quicksilver was in it just too fast to see.
Very, very possible.
What was he doing while being too fast to see? Nothing of consequence, apparently. Just checking it out. Oh, that's what's going on here. All right. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Okay. How much is shipping to Scotland? I have no idea. You want me to look that up now? He was shaving.
Maybe.
I don't know. Does his hair grow fast? How does that work? I don't know. I'm not familiar with the specifics of what's going on with him. Other than I'm pretty sure he's dead. He got shot. So faster than a speeding bullet, not even kind of. It's like he's quick. Yeah, you're quick. But yeah. The Flash is like, I can run fast enough to turn back time. Quicksilver's like, I can get shot. Oh, look out for this guy. He's almost faster than a bullet.
But not quite.
But not quite, yeah.
A little slow on the uptake.
It's unfortunate. But, so, yeah, no other X-Men, no Deadpool, which was another rumor. If you've seen the thumbnail for this live stream, they have Deadpool in a Wanda costume. They were fake posters made, where in the reflections, Deadpool was there. And the thing was, on those same fake posters, they had people like Captain Carter with the, so she did show up, so people were thinking, well, she showed up, so, but when I was even watching the movie, I was like, there's no place for Deadpool in this film.
I think the director, whatever his name was, I seen interview online, and he said they had thought about it, but they didn't think this was the correct time to bring him in.
Yeah, and I agree with that.
But I still would have liked to.
I think they could just have so much fun with the next Deadpool movie now, though, because like the Disney Fox merger has happened. He can talk about that stuff. He can say that he's not allowed to do stuff because of Disney, and he's like, he could say something like fucking censorship, and they'll make it rated R, so he can say that, and it's funny, and then they'll bleep out something else, and he's like, now you have no idea what's going on. You know, he's quick. That's what she said. See, something like that. You know? What in the world did I just walk into? You walked into a conversation about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, as well as Deadpool and a bunch of other random stuff.
X-Men.
The Flash should change its name to the Flunge. Is the Flunge a thing? Is Flunge a thing? Am I going to get in trouble for saying Flunge? I've never heard of that before. I've just said it like several times, so I'm not.
I think he said something
grave
earlier
here.
about he just made that up or
You're
something.
really flunging yourself with that one. Yeah, but you could say that you made something. Everything's technically made up. That word's made up. Every word's made up. Okay.
Oh, that's not right. No.
That wasn't the one that I wanted to hit.
According to the Urban Dictionary, it's a fencing technique that combines a lunge with a flesh. I don't.
Well, there you go.
I don't
We're
speak
learning.
foreign, so.
Yeah, I don't speak. Sword fighter. And FedEx shopping costs. Yeah, well. Someone wants to throw that information into the comments section. I'm not going to be mad at it, but I'm not looking it up right now. I don't know what shipping costs are.
We got other things to do, people.
Yeah. So speaking of which, you know, the rumors, the letdowns of Doctor Strange 2, I really enjoyed the movie, but I had some things that I was let down on. Like, I was expecting more answers than what I got. I'm still happy with the movie, the style of it, the Raimi style. Some people are upset with that as well. And I say, forget that. You know, your expectations were too high. You were expecting Endgame Part 2, the multiverse.
Yeah, it's too
And
early for
it
that,
was
people.
really just Doctor Strange, mostly Doctor Strange, except it wasn't even Doctor Strange. I say we call it America versus the Red Scare, because it was America Chavez versus Wanda, and Doctor Strange was there like helping.
Well, and she wasn't even in it a whole lot.
No.
It was, like I said in our last episode, this was WandaVision Part 2. basically.
Yeah, this is the ending or the continuation of that tale. Again, where's Vision? She's like, I'll murder other me's to get my children back. What about your husband? I don't... You know that he currently exists in this universe. Yeah, but why don't you go find him and make some magic children? That sounds like it wouldn't hurt anyone, and I have to be the villain for this movie until I realize that I'm being a villain and then stop. Which is like... Serious? Why didn't you... Well, it took murdering all those people for me to realize that murdering people is bad. So you never know until you've actually done it. Many times. And then claimed that you'd never hurt anyone.
Everybody deals with grief in a different way. She just took it to the extreme.
Here's the thing, though. That's not an excuse to then actually murder people. It's like the way that I deal with my grief is by murdering people. Well, okay, that's how you deal with grief, but now we put you in jail or execute you because you don't just get to go murder people because you were, I was upset and so I just started to murder people. That's like the first story of murder in the Bible. I'm jealous. Murder. Dude.
And
that is not the appropriate way to express yourself, okay?
Did you notice they, unless I totally missed it, correct me if I'm wrong, did you notice that they left out, I guess call them Sinister Strange?
Evil Strange?
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeremy,
where he said things just got a little out of hand. That wasn't in the movie.
Oh, yeah. Cut that. Who cares? I mean, that's not that big of a deal as far as things.
No, I'm just saying,
change and cut
once
out of
again,
movies.
it's kind of like with the Hulk. Well, it's not as big as that, but, you know, where they had Hulk running in and he actually wasn't in it.
Well, it's not as bad as other movies where it's like the trailer has come out and then they do reshoots and it's like, good luck with whatever you saw in that trailer being in the movie. If they've since then done reshoots, like it's, you know, because they have to put the trailer out before the movie comes out, but sometimes they make changes or change what's in the final cut. And then there's different things like extended editions, director's cut, theatrical cut. I love to watch the director's cuts because it can, I mean, sometimes the movie's like an hour longer and I understand why you didn't put that in theaters, but I like some of the extra stuff that comes along packed with it. So as far as things that like would be movie changing, that line from him is not. Now, I thought Zombie Strange was going to be, I think a lot of other people did, was going to be the what if, like it was going to be from the zombie universe. You know what I mean?
Right.
But instead, that too was just like, oh, he's using a spell. And it was cool. We know it was cool. We know it was metal because they played an electric guitar riff when he did it. Metal. This is cool. I really thought that was hilarious and perfect and great.
See, I don't even remember that.
Every time when you rewatch this movie, Debbie, now you're going to be looking out for this. But every time he does something that's like, yeah, they play like a straight up high pitched guitar riff, and it's like, it is hilarious. I'm probably going to include, once the movie comes out, I'm going to include them in some of the clips just real fast, just like, yeah, Doctor Strange being metal, like when he raises a zombie, it's like and then when he gets the cape under control, I think they do it again, it's like, oh yeah, look at him, he's being zombie metal. I was cracking up when I watched that. Enjoy, it was good. I heard other people be like, you apparently didn't even notice it, so we all experience it.
Yeah, that's weird because normally, I mean, the music part of a movie is usually what that's what really attracts me. I wasn't real thrilled with Elfman's music, but then again, I've never been a huge Elfman fan, so.
And again, these weren't like long songs or anything. This wasn't background music, really. I mean, it was background music. I don't think the characters in the movie heard the guitar play. You know what I mean? But it was very short. It's like and that's it. That's it. The guitar's gone, and that's why I noticed it. That was because there was no electric guitar, and then he's like casting a spell with zombies, and it's like it's great. I'm gonna stop doing that now, but I hope that you all have learned, and you next time you watch Multiverse of Madness, look out for the this is metal, this is cool guitar riff, because it's there. I promise you it's there. Got Dana. My thing is that Black Bolt could have took out Wanda in a single word. Luckily, the smartest man ever gave away that secret before he had the chance. And I've seen people respond to that and say it's not because he didn't do that because he's stupid. He did that because he wanted to reason with her, or he wanted to give her a chance to give up. And I was like, well, you still could have done that without revealing.
They totally, the Illuminati totally underestimated Wanda, because the Wanda in their universe is nothing like, well, you know, she's just the normal mom, so she's not psycho bitch or anything like that. So they didn't know what they were dealing with, and they were, as usual, arrogant and superior.
Yeah.
And but yeah, that was stupid. I thought, I was like, what the hell are you doing?
And that's why, again, superior Iron Man would have fit in so well with them, or any Iron Man, really. I mean, if this is a collection of egos, put that guy in. I'm also surprised Namor was not introduced, because I know they've cast him, and he's on other Illuminatis, and they put pretty, like, I don't know. I would have rather had him, I think, than Captain Carter. Not that I don't love Captain Carter, but I think she would have made more sense. Or actually, in fact, let's replace Miss Marvel, or whatever, Captain Marvel, or whoever, because who even cares about her? Oh, I'm the strongest woman ever. I've got superpowers. I'm stronger than Thanos' ships and stuff. A statue fell on me, and I'm dead. It's just like, ooh.
And then Carter got Darth Mauled.
Why would you do that to her?
Boy. Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of people did not like the fact that Peggy Carter was now Captain Carter. And they didn't like it when she said, I could do this all day.
And people then died.
Pissed, and I'm like,
seconds later. I thought that was that's a great reference to Captain America. But then she did die seconds later after saying, I can do this all day. Bing, bang, dead. I don't think that you can. Or, maybe you have the endurance to, do your calisthenics until whenever, but can you survive being cut in half? No? Then, and see, who could have survived that? Deadpool.
Yes. It would have taken him a little bit to get his legs back, but yeah.
You remind me of my wife.
I'm sorry?
I said you remind me.
No, I'm sorry that you said that while making heavy eye contact and applying lip balm.
I never heard anyone since I finished killing all of those people. Yes, that is the line essentially that Wanda says, where she goes, now that I think about it, now that I've said it out loud, now that I've heard it said, I think I might have been murdering people. And I'm thinking, throw this theory out there, that murdering people is hurting people. Because just a second ago I said I'd never hurt anyone, and then I was like, wait, what have I been doing all this time? Whose blood is this on my face? Multiple people's? Yeah, I think I might have been hurting people.
Well, that and the fact that she seen the fear in her kids' eyes, that they were just absolutely petrified of her. I think that's what made it click for her, that, oh, yeah, I am a monster.
Doctor Strange, Logan. Yeah. she, I don't know. I mean, that's part of the writing that I think was kind of
Funky.
Yeah, it wasn't the best. This film, it wasn't the best. It was more of a popcorn film, and it didn't do as much with the greater MCU as I think a lot of people, myself included, expected. So you had letdowns and expectations, as opposed to, like, let's say Spider-Man. Because in Spider-Man, they even tried to delete the fact that there were other Spider-Man in the movie. So that was not even in any trailers. In this, they're like, look, there's going to be Professor X and Captain Marvel and Captain Carter and stuff. And so then people are just like, if that's what they're showing us in the trailer, you build even higher expectations off that. So I don't think they should have shown some of that stuff in the trailers.
I think they should have just, I have been saying this for I don't know how long, do a teaser trailer, one regular trailer, and then just drop it at that. Because you start, I mean, yeah, they basically gave away the Illuminati with all their 10,000 TV spots and whatnot. And I, even though I didn't even watch them, but every once in a while when I was scrolling through TikTok, I'd see a flash and I'd be like, son of a...
Yeah.
Quit it. Bad marketing. I don't want to go to a movie seeing everything already in trailers and TV spots.
I gotta say, I agree with you. And I mean, I watch it all just because we do this, and I'm gonna end up seeing it, but it, depending on what they release before the film, they can do some damage. And the expectations thing, they should have managed that probably a little bit better than what they had. But I think for this film anyway, it was going to be over the top no matter what, because it did introduce the multiverse, and that, as we've said before, opens you to the possibility of literally doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that opens up the possibility of even more rumors than usual. So, but now that this, and I will also say, coming out of this movie, or going forward with the MCU, I'm not as excited as I have been previously. There have been times like before Infinity War, before Endgame, or before Avengers 2, or before the Avengers, where I was like stoked to see what the MCU was going to do next. Right now, there's some stuff that I'm excited for. There's some stuff I'm not excited for at all. And there's some stuff that's up in the air. Like I can tell you, what is it? The next thing coming out
Miss Marvel.
is Miss Marvel. June 8th. So that's coming up in June. A couple weeks away from that. And that's a series. And I'll watch it. I'll see where the story goes, but it's not like, I'm not like,
Yeah, I'm not.
woo! I can't wait to see. I could wait to see this. If someone was like, "Do you think you could wait to see this?" I would say yes. I can wait.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not hyped about it, but I'd have to do some research on the character like I do for most of these because I don't read the comics. So
let's see. I think they need to bring God Emperor Doom, which I'm going to assume is some sort of crazy
any relation to Doctor Doom?
Steroided version of Doctor Doom, yeah. Doctor Doom on steroids. They've hinted at Doctor Doom. There have been Doctor Doom hints. They just showed us the first scene with one of the Fantastic Four in it, so I definitely think they have big plans. I mean, we know Fantastic Four is... The release date hasn't been announced, but it's happening. That's confirmed. So we could see some big developments in that direction. I think absolutely. Let's see. This was made for the muggles who like special effects and don't understand the backstory. I assume that was about Multiverse Madness. Let's see. Return of Lou Ferrigno. See, that was another thing that other people were expecting to see in Multiverse of Madness. You have the potential You have the multiverse at your fingertips. But the way that they traveled through it, it wasn't like you could just see whatever you want. They actually had to go to the place. And when you have to do that, it would have taken a lot more multiverse reality changing than they had, especially for a girl that doesn't even know how to use her powers throughout all the movie, except at the end when she does know how to use it because she gets an inspirational speech, which again is how she learns control of her power in this movie. She has no control of her power. Doctor Strange at the end of the movie goes, "You do have control of your power," and she goes, "Okay," and then she full on can control it, where she's never been able to control it before.
Even though she's had 14 years.
All you needed the entire time was for one person to go, "You do know what you're doing." Just for one person to tell you,
"You can do it."
I don't know. Let's try this in a different scenario. Okay. I don't know how to pilot an aircraft. I don't know how to fly a helicopter. I don't know how to do it. And then Doctor Strange was like, "Yeah, you do know how to do it." And then I knew how to fly a helicopter. That's not how things work. I thought that was super lazy. But okay, now we've introduced the multiverse. We have one character, one that can move through it right now. Possibly others, Loki and the time stuff, maybe, and Wanda, but she's dead, but whatever. That's, not. And on the horizon, exactly. On the horizon, we have Kang the Conqueror. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be interesting, but they just scratched the surface of the multiverse with this. So that's going to be, but they did introduce, America Chavez, who now they've introduced Wanda's kids.
Yeah, they've introduced about half of the Young Avengers.
Young Avengers. So there's a big. I think that's and now with Ms. Marvel coming out too. I mean, there's gonna be a Young Avengers movie at some point. Yeah,
you got the two boys. You got Kate Bishop. You got Yelena. You have Ms. Marvel and America Chavez. So I don't know how many is in the Young Avengers, but that's about 6 right there.
And that's plenty. And that could be interesting. Baze is flying this plane. Looks like I picked the wrong day to quit sniffing glue.
I love airplane references. The movie Airplane.
I was gonna say, well, if you quit sniffing the glue, why don't you pass it up to the pilot? I have no idea what I'm doing up here, although Doctor Strange is very confident that I've got what it takes. So now I can do it. Yes. I think they're just trying to keep it alive. Too much listening to certain fan bases.
Well, according to the fans, they're not listening enough.
Yeah, well,
especially to me.
Disney, as part of their, and this is a business strategy, they want to hit the widest target, the widest possible audience. And so they're going to keep trying to do things to satisfy everybody, but you can't. And so different people are going to be upset.
Mistake of trying to satisfy everybody. You're not. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. Well,
people are going to complain either way.
Well, you'll see it when nobody watches this. And here's the thing: I'm not saying nobody, but probably comparatively to the other series that have come out so far, I cannot imagine that this Ms. Marvel does as well as any of the others. We'll see. Maybe it will be more of a hit with like the younger generation.
I was going to say she may be for the
and it is Disney Plus, which has tons of stuff, mostly catered towards younger stuff. Though they did just add. You have to go into your settings. I don't know if you've seen this. They announced it when they did it, but they added a setting to change what films you see listed. And so if you have to set it to show mature films or else you won't see any of them. And I was glad to see that.
Netflix shows.
Right. And yes, because those are for mature audiences or they're rated TVMA. So you have to go into settings on Disney Plus and make sure that you have it to set to that. But I was glad to see that they did that, because that shows they're aware of the fact that they own, now that they're buying everything, they own tons of content that is not for children, but they also have a streaming service where they can show that content. So how do you separate it? Well, that's how you do it. Now you can go in, you can have it set so if your kids are looking at Disney Plus, they can't see any of that stuff. But when you go in, and that gives me hope for things like Deadpool, because I always worry, are they going to Disney-fy Deadpool?
Well, I believe Kevin said no.
And yeah, everybody says things all the time, but then you see the actual product. I don't trust almost any of the things, that they shout at you or that show up in the clickbait articles that come up all the time. It just reminds me of when, in between The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, there was like an article every day just telling me, did you know that The Rise of Skywalker is going to be amazing? Did you know that this person said there was no problems at all? Did you know that this person said? And I was like, and then I go read all these articles, and if you actually read them, they're just taking stuff out of context. Or then you go see the movie and it's like, how do you feel now? So you just can't trust, the headlines that are coming out, because that's what they want you to see. They got that put into a headline for the most part.
Well, half the time the headline's not anywhere in the actual article.
And there's that too. Well, one of the funniest ones I ever read was I made a whole video on it, but it was before Rise of Skywalker came out, and I saw it on 20 different websites. This huge headline: Kevin Smith says, and I was like, we're in trouble already. And it says, Kevin Smith says The Last Jedi will melt your mind. I was like, whoa, Kevin Smith. Well, I don't take him that seriously anyway, but did he really say that? He really said this will melt your mind? And so I click on the article and I go to the quote from Kevin Smith. And Kevin Smith goes, so I went down to the set, but I wasn't allowed to look at the set. But somebody who worked on the set was like, man, I wish we could show you this set. It would melt your mind. And I was like, Kevin Smith did not. Here's the headline again, just so you remember. Headline: Kevin Smith says the last scene of Rise of Skywalker will melt your mind. What he actually said was, I never saw anything. Someone that works on the movie told me it would melt my mind.
Clickbait.
Totally different thing. It was everywhere. It was everywhere. And you know how people are. They'll just get on social media, and I'm sitting there going, I don't think The Rise of Skywalker is going to be that great. I don't have a lot of hope for it. And they're like, yeah, we'll look at this, and they'll just post that. And I'm like, okay, I read the thing that you posted, and it's not even what you believe it to be. Did you read the thing? And it's, this is the internet. Welcome to, these are people.
Yeah, that's the problem with the internet.
Let it go.
They take
clearly, I've let it go.
Clearly.
Not holding on to anything here. No Way Home appeals to everyone. Trash appeals to 10%. There are going to be lots of raccoons in that theater. Raccoons love trash. They're all about it. Grant said, I wasn't rushing to see No Way Home or Multiverse. Love and Thunder can't wait. That's it. Yeah, that's probably the one that I'm most looking forward to coming up. If I were to without thinking about it or looking at it, I'm thinking Thor Love and Thunder. I'm looking forward to that. I'm thinking Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And I'm thinking Ant-Man. I want to see those. That's the stuff that I'm most excited about at this point. What about you, Debbie?
They just finished wrapping Guardians 3. So
I'm looking forward to that.
And they start shooting Loki in July, season 2, I believe. They start shooting that.
Season 2 of Loki. Well, hopefully that could expand some more on some of this stuff. I mean, that was our first look at Kang, was in that. And the end certainly hinted that he's going to be playing a big role in whatever happens in Loki next. I mean, there's a statue of him at the time place where Loki now works at, and no one knows who he is. But they, again, that's another thing where they could go just about anywhere with it.
So he's kind of like Peter Parker. Nobody knows who he is. They don't remember him.
And Dale's absolutely correct. Yeah. As soon as you see that that's the beginning. And that was the thing. I went into that article just knowing if everything in that headline is 100% true, it's still the word of Kevin Smith. So, yeah. But then none of that was even true. So it was just, disgusting.
Yeah, I don't even
that's
click
a series
on articles
that I did
anymore.
There's 4 episodes. It's called Read Between the Lines. RBTL. It's got me giving the finger like that. Read between the lines. I did 4 episodes of it in between the time, again, of The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. Just because it's entirely based off of looking at clickbait articles like that I saw everywhere because they know I'm a Star Wars fan. Hey, you like Star Wars? Here, read this. The next movie's going to be great. And I'm just like, I don't believe you. And I saw the movie and I was like, I knew it. You can't just lie to me for like a year and a half, 2 years. And then if you just tell me I'll love it that entire time, then when I see it, I'll love it no matter what I actually think. Maybe that works on some people. I don't know. Maybe clearly.
Well, evidently it works on a lot of people because that's probably some of the reason that, you get all this hate for movies or characters or whatnot because, they lead you these clickbait sites or articles, whatever. They put all this crap out there and a lot of people are gullible and believe it. And then when it doesn't come true, then they're just, oh, you ruined it. No. Why didn't it come out that way? Or, they must have taken all that out during the, 100 reshoots that they did for the movie. And it's just like, no, you just fell for it. And that's all.
That's why I actually like a lot of the articles that come out on geeknewsnow.net.
We don't have clickbait.
Because it's not like rumor, this is going to happen in the new movie, which I'm convinced that most of those articles or memes or everything, social media clickbait stuff, they just made up. They're like, we need a good rumor that's going to get a lot of clicks. And they're like, Hulk's going to be in Multiverse of Madness. All right, let me just type that up. Rumor, Hulk's going to be in Multiverse of Madness. Okay, so this is just a rumor we heard. Take it with a grain of salt, but we're pretty sure Hulk's going to be in Multiverse of Madness. And it's like, you didn't hear a rumor.
Inside sources.
You just made it up so that people would click on your shit.
Inside sources. That's a popular one.
Yeah. You got inside sources. So I think of your inside sources. I have a friend in Lucasfilm. I don't believe you because I don't think you'd be doing what you're currently doing.
Yeah, right.
I don't think they'd be friends with you so that you could get on the internet and be like, here's all the confidential stuff that they're legally not allowed to tell anyone. They told me, a guy with a YouTube channel. Yeah. Not quite. So we're coming up to the end here. We're actually going for almost an hour, which is wonderful. Because I was not expecting to go this long, but we had some great people in the chat. I want to thank Geek and I Podcast, Grant for showing up, Dana, Dale as well. Jeremy, actually, we'll take time to do Jeremy's question here. Stuart was here earlier with the flunge. Avocado was the first one. Let's take a look at this before we get out of here. Geek News Now. Strange question. I'm sure you know of Jediism being a real religion based on Star Wars. But have you ever heard of Gokuism, also called evangelical Gokuism? Yes, DBZ, Dragon Ball Z. Found it on Google and Facebook a few years ago. Don't know if it's real or a joke. What do you think?
I think I've heard of the Jediism.
Well, that's legitimately a religion. Like,
Yeah, I've heard of that, but not the others. Of course, I'm not a Dragon Ball Z person, so
Yeah, I'm also not a huge. I watched some, but not. I'm not one of the people that would be considered a Gokuist. But I know some people that probably are. They've seen every single episode of everything Dragon Ball Z that's ever come out ever, and I'm just like, how do you do that?
my
And
young
then
son does.
I'll talk about and then I'll talk about like Star Wars or Lord of the Rings, and I'll talk about I was like, well, actually, before the creation of Middle Earth, blah 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 blah, and they're like, well, how do you do that? And I'm like, that's interesting. And they're like, not to me. So we've all got our different stuff. I could believe it. I could see. I mean, that's the very popular, probably the most well-known anime. So I could see it. Deadpool and Moon Knight in a movie would rock. That'd just be hilarious because they never know if they're talking to each other or voices in their head or people that aren't even there. Like Deadpool's talking to the audience and Moon Knight's like, and they call me crazy. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Having fun times. But yeah, I'd be down for that. More Deadpool is actually just my general request. That's my number one thing. Like, if I were to write a list after seeing every Marvel movie, and it's like, what would you have changed? The first thing, more Deadpool. The second thing, more Justin Hammer.
I want my board. Well, okay, nothing's impossible. Are we talking about, is this a bird back in Russia? Do you speak English? Because I can get a translator. I don't know, have you been understanding everything I'm saying?
Very good, man.
Very good, man.
Very good.
You dig what I'm getting at here?
Слишком много говоришь.
I don't know if you know this, but I don't speak Russian!
More Justin Hammer. More Deadpool, more Justin Hammer. But I'm a simple man.
I was looking to see if they've even started shooting Deadpool 3. Sean Levy says it won't start shooting this year. So.
Oh my god, that's so depressing. Yeah, I don't know when we're gonna get Deadpool 3. I don't know when Armor Wars. I know that's supposed to be down the road, but that's probably my best next hope to see more Justin Hammer.
Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell. Sammy Rock. Oh, he is the man. But that's it, I think, for us today. Unless Debbie, you have anything else you want to mention before we sign out?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Love and Thunder. That's probably the one I'm most excited about.
Well, that's actually right around the corner, comparatively to when,
as long as they show no more trailers.
July. Yeah, no chance. There's gonna be there's only been one so far, Debbie. There's gonna be tons more trailers. We shall see. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that one too. Coming out in July. Definitely looking forward to that more than Miss Marvel or whatever. Yeah, again, we'll see it. We'll be talking about it. But if I wasn't doing this show, I probably wouldn't be like sprinting to go see it. You know what I mean? It's like I probably would have binged it at some point, but like,
I would just watch it just because, we know it's probably going to connect somewhere and down the road in a movie or whatever. But yeah. Oh, don't forget to join me and Dave Furr, who is not here tonight, but he'll be here Thursday night, and we are going to be talking Rogue One. One of my favorite Star Wars movies.
Talking about Rogue One on Thursday night.
Ooh.
On
9:30.
9:30 Thursday night. Talking 9:30 Eastern, if that matters. Thursday night, talking about Rogue One.
Who's they?
It's gonna be good. Very much looking forward to that. So remember to tune in on Thursday for the Star Wars.
And you can join us if you like, Chris.
I maybe will be there.
Well,
because
pay
Rogue
attention
One,
to your messages this time.
it's not the sequels, so because there was a solid 3 weeks where I was just like, you probably don't want me to be there unless you're ready to hover over that mute button just to stop me from going on and on about how god awful. I was just like, yeah,
you and
so
Cam would have had fun.
if you have nothing nice to say. Stuart was cooking some egg fried rice, but he said later. Hey, take it easy, Stuart. Jimmy produces. I'll be there for Thursday, so he'll be joining us. I'll probably be there. I don't want to make a commitment if I'm not sure yet, but I'm gonna try to be there on Thursday as well. Talk about Rogue One, and of course, we'll be back next Monday with more MCU Mondays. I'm trying to find a closing video, and I found one. So, see ya.
Shit! Language. Wait a second. No one else is going to deal with the fact that Cap just said language?
Just slipped out.
Find the scepter.
And for gosh sake, watch your language.
That's not going away anytime soon.
You bet your ass.
Steve, he said a bad language word.
Did you tell everyone about
The
that?
heado's imprinted.
Out with the Platinum Bastard.
Steve doesn't like that kind of talk.
You know what, Romanov?
Fury, you